Okay, so we've now got to the heart of the matter. Did you guys include this because the backlog's so big and you need to kind of a little bit? There's a huge backlog. We all get casework, and now you're telling me that I should give my powers as a legislator to you without any report to Parliament. Why should I trust you?
Have you ever wondered what happens behind closed doors in Parliament? Right now, government officials are discussing powers that could cancel or pause immigration applications without passing any law. Why does the government want this control? Is it really for emergencies, or is it about moving quickly to fix a system that impacts your job, your housing, and even your community? If decisions about who can stay or work in Canada are made without Parliament, who is speaking for you? Everyone should ask, how much power is too much, and what does it mean for Canadians like you and me? Pay close attention. What you're about to see could change the way immigration decisions affect your daily life.
In 2012, former Immigration Minister Jason Kenney used one-time legislation in the 2012 budget to cancel specific applications. Why does the government need the powers outlined in this bill for application? Like, why couldn't you just put it in a piece of legislation?
According to you, why does the government need special powers when a law could do the same job? This question matters for you because these decisions affect Canadian jobs, housing, and how fair the immigration system is for everyone living in Canada. In this short clip, Michelle Rempel-Garner questions why the government wants new powers to cancel applications when a similar situation in 2012 was handled through legislation. The officials do not give a clear answer, which raises concerns about transparency and oversight. Key points explained better situation. 1. Using special powers. Instead of laws, reduces public debate, making it harder for Canadians to know how immigration decisions are made. 2. Immigration changes directly impact job competition and housing pressure, which every Canadian feels. 3. Quick decisions without legislation can create confusion and unfair outcomes for people waiting in the system. 4. When Parliament is bypassed, trust in government drops, and that affects everyone in Canada.
So currently, no authorities exist to cancel applications en masse. The 2012 Federal Skilled Worker Inventory Elimination was accomplished through legislative amendments.
Right, but why couldn't you just do a piece of legislation?
Because it doesn't allow for the flexibility to define the public interest as well as...
Okay, so you, as the bureaucracy, want to be able to determine that without going through Parliament.
Is that good or bad? Should bureaucrats decide what is in the public interest without Parliament? This question matters for everyone because unelected officials making big decisions can affect Canadian jobs, services, and trust in democracy. In this clip, government officials say they need flexibility and cannot use legislation to cancel applications on a large scale. Michelle Rempel-Garner pushes back, questioning whether this means the bureaucracy wants power without going through Parliament. Key points explained better situation. 1. When decisions are made without Parliament, Canadians lose their voice in how major policies are changed. 2. Flexibility sounds useful, but without clear limits, it can lead to overuse and poor decisions. 3. Immigration decisions impact the economy and job market, so they need proper debate and oversight. 4. Giving more power to the bureaucracy can reduce public trust in government institutions.
No, the policy intent is to be able to quickly respond to emergencies, crises, health issues.
So why didn't you define what public interest means in the legislation then?
Because there are so many potential instances. So that's why we were trying to say health, security.
But why isn't that defined in the legislation?
Because it just would too closely, I think, restrict us to only being able to apply a recommendation to.
Just think, why is public interest not clearly defined in the law? This question matters for every Canadian because unclear rules can affect Canadian workers, families, and communities without warning. In this clip, officials say they need broad powers to respond to emergencies like health crises, but they do not define what public interest means in the legislation. Michelle Rempel-Garner questions why such an important term is left vague. Key points explained better situation. 1. When laws are not clear, people living in Canada cannot plan their future with confidence. 2. Vague powers can be used for more than just emergencies, which creates risk over time. 3. Undefined terms make it harder for Parliament and courts to hold government accountable. 4. Canadians expect clear rules, not open-ended authority that can change without notice.
Really big devolution of power to the bureaucracy from Parliament. And I'm trying to understand, because there hasn't been an instance given by you or the minister, an example of where that would be used, why that couldn't be achieved by legislation.
So may I offer some examples? Thank you. So quickly facilitate the extensions or stay for temporary residents in Canada following a significant natural disaster.
Question for you, is this a big shift of power from Parliament to the bureaucracy? This question matters for you because Parliament represents Canadians, and shifting power away can change how decisions affect daily life. In this clip, Michelle Rempel-Garner warns that this bill hands major power from Parliament to government officials. Tara Lang responds by giving examples like natural disasters, but the question remains why these situations still cannot be handled through legislation. Key points explained better situation. 1. Moving power from Parliament to the bureaucracy means fewer elected voices are involved in decisions that impact Canadian jobs, housing, and services. 2. Emergency examples sound reasonable, but without clear limits, the same powers can be used in non-emergency situations. 3. Fast decisions can ignore local and regional impacts, which leaves communities dealing with unexpected pressure. 4. History shows that once power is given up, it is very hard for Parliament to take it back.
Include a report to Parliament as part of the use of these powers.
Well, I think that we were trying to clearly indicate that there is no clear one path for the use of these powers.
Except for legislation, which has been used before, correct?
Right, which is a very defined portion of a one-time elimination of a backlog.
The backlog.
Documents.
Okay, so we've now got to the heart of the matter. Did you guys include this because the backlog's so big and you need to kind of a little bit?
So
question for you, is this really about emergencies, or is it about clearing a huge backlog? This question matters for you because backlogs affect families, workers, businesses, and the fairness of the immigration system in Canada. In this clip, the discussion finally turns to the real issue: backlogs. Michelle Rempel-Garner questions whether these powers exist because the system is overloaded and the government needs a quick way to deal with it. Key points explained better situation. 1. Immigration backlogs cause long delays that affect employers waiting for workers and families waiting for decisions. 2. Using special powers to clear backlogs does not fix system failures like poor planning and mismanagement. 3. Quick cancellations can hurt people who followed the rules and waited years in the system. 4. Canadians expect long-term solutions, not shortcuts that create more confusion and distrust.
this is exactly why we didn't go with one-time legislation, such as was what was done in 2012 with Minister Kenney, because that was a one-time elimination of a backlog.
So I'll just ask again. So you brought up the point of backlog. I'm trying to figure out why I should support this. I'm on the fence, honestly, because it's a big devolution of powers. We've had a lot of witnesses say that I shouldn't. And I'm like, I need you to convince me, because the department has messed up. You guys have, you've said that there's fraud. There's a huge backlog. We all get casework, and now you're telling me that I should give my powers as a legislator to you without any report to Parliament. Why should I trust you?
According to you, why should Canadians trust the department with even more power? This question matters for you because government mistakes affect jobs, cost of living, and confidence in public systems. In this clip, Michelle Rempel-Garner openly questions trust, pointing to fraud, backlogs, and past failures. She asks why Parliament should give up its power when the department has not fixed existing problems. Key points explained better situation. 1. When a system is already struggling, giving it more power can create bigger risks for Canadians. 2. Fraud and mismanagement directly affect public trust and the fairness of the immigration process. 3. Canadians pay the price for bad decisions through higher costs and less opportunity. 4. Trust should be earned through results and transparency, not through requests for more authority.
So, I think the checks and balances are present there. The transparency through the publication of the Gazette, the conversations that we'll have
What
with
would be published in the Gazette?
any potential options around the public interest to suspend,
What level of detail?
cancel. Very detailed. It would have to be down to the type of application, the type of person. It would depend on the situation. It could involve, like I was saying before, in a healthcare situation. If
Question for everyone: is publishing details enough to keep the government accountable? This question matters for everyone, because transparency after decisions are made is not the same as real oversight for Canadians. In this clip, officials say that any use of these powers would be published in the Canada Gazette with details. Michelle Rempel-Garner pushes for clarity on how detailed that information would really be. Key points explained better situation. 1. Publishing information does not give Canadians a say before major decisions are taken. 2. Most people do not regularly read government gazettes, limiting real public awareness. 3. Technical language can make important decisions hard to understand. 4. True accountability comes from parliamentary debate, not just post-decision disclosure.
needed to mass extend healthcare workers because of a crisis in Canada, it would have to specifically say these applications of people who are already in Canada, they would be extended.
Okay.
They'll
I have a problem as a legislator giving you these powers, right? It's a big devolution of
Right.
powers, and I feel like the department and the minister hasn't done an adequate job. And
Just think who really decides when these powers should be used. This question matters for you because broad powers can affect workers, communities, and public services across Canada. In this clip, officials give the example of extending status for healthcare workers during a crisis. Michelle Rempel-Garner responds by saying the department and minister have not done a good enough job justifying such a large shift of power. Key points explained better situation. 1. Emergency examples can sound reasonable, but should not justify unlimited authority. 2. Canadians support frontline workers, but also expect clear rules and limits. 3. Powers created for crises can later be used in normal situations. 4. Good intentions do not replace strong oversight and accountability.
what I would encourage you to do in the short time that we have left is explain this in more detail, because you guys got roasted by the legal community, ethnic media. There's a lot of fear over this right now, and I don't think you've adequately communicated what this means. And that's a problem for me as a legislator.
Right.
Why are so many people confused and worried about these powers? This question matters for you because Parliament represents, because fear and confusion around government policy affect trust, stability, and how safe people feel living in Canada. In this final clip, Michelle Rempel-Garner points out that legal experts, ethnic media, and communities have strongly criticized this bill. She says there is real fear right now and that the government has failed to clearly explain what these powers mean and how they will be used. Key points explained better situation. 1. When government does not communicate clearly, rumors and fear spread quickly among communities. 2. Confusion affects not just immigrants, but Canadians who care about fairness and rule of law. 3. Poor explanation makes people worry that powers could be misused or expanded later. 4. Canadians expect transparency before major changes, not after public trust is already damaged. 5. When leaders fail to explain policy properly, it creates a gap between government and the people they represent. Now you can see how these immigration powers could impact every Canadian jobs, housing, and even your daily life. The questions raised in this hearing show just how important it is to know what is happening behind closed doors. If you want to stay updated on Canada immigration news, House of Commons debates, and how decisions like this affect you. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss any breakdown that can help you understand what's really going on in Canada.